So now we will study about the activity centered curriculum principles and characteristics. Activity centered curriculum is, as the name indicates, it is concerned with the activities in contrast to subject centered curriculum. In subject centered curriculum, we give much more place to the content and delivery of the content in oral mode. But in case of activity centered curriculum, we give emphasize and we most important part of this activity centered is that the content should be followed by the activity. And activity has the most important place in the teaching learning process. So let us see the origin of this activity centered curriculum. As early as in 1896, Dewey, John Dewey used the expression activity program and set up a laboratory school based on various activities. Dewey was the first in 1896 set up a laboratory that was based on various activities, and it is with the name of the activity program. So, the activity program that was launched by the John Dewey, that was followed by different kind of various activities. Dewey was of the view that activity should be based on occupations rather selected in terms of conventional studies. John Dewey considered that activities that we are having in our curriculum and that we are giving importance in activity program, that should directly be linked to the occupation rather than this conventional studies, that is the oral mode of teaching. So, the Dewey was the first, John Dewey, who was the propounder of this and was the philosopher of this pragmatism. He gave much more importance to the activity centered curriculum, and he also formulated activity program, as I told you, and he told that activity should be linked to the occupation that is essential for the earning purposes, and instead of oral delivery, it is essential that it should be in the form of certain kind of activities. Miriam in 1904 developed an elementary school curriculum at the University of Missouri, which was based on pupil activities, and there was a complete absence of conventional subjects in this curriculum. Another educationist, Miriam, in 1904, after Dewey, also developed elementary school curriculum at the University of Missouri, which was also based on pupil activity, and there was completely lack of this conventional kind of subjects in the curriculum. So, the elementary school curriculum that was prepared by Miriam in 1904 having activity program also, and there was no verbatim and no conventional way of teaching. 4 categories of activities were used in this curriculum, and these were observation, play, stories and handicraft. So, what was the beauty of this program that was proposed by Miriam in elementary school curriculum at University of Missouri was observation, that the child will observe what is going on. Play, that is with the help of the kind of games, with the help of kind of different kind of activities in the form of games, that today we called as gamification. So, that is in the form of game. Gamification is online, but this is the direct kind of games, not online. So, playway method, stories, that the certain kind of different pictures or certain kind of different scenario presented to the child in the form of stories, and handicrafts. Handicraft means doing something with the help of the hand, that is hand skills. So, whatever they are doing, they are preparing any toy, it may be any kind of useful productive item and object. So, Mariam also proposed a very unique kind of activity centered curriculum in 1904 in University of Missouri, which was fully based on activity, and the observation, play, stories and handicrafts were giving much more importance in this activity centered curriculum, rather the verbatim or the oral mode of teaching. So, this kind of curriculum that was proposed by John Dewey and later on by Miriam, these all gives much more emphasis on activity based curriculum or activity centered curriculum, where the activities were giving much more importance in comparison to the this verbatim, or the verbatim were fully neglected and all the content of the curriculum was presented to the child with the help of activities. Curriculum decides which subject may be given in a particular course and what quantity of information may be given through the particular course. So, it was decided that the curriculum decides which subjects may be given in a particular course and what quantity of information may be given through the particular course. So, what should be the mode of transaction of curriculum? Which kind of activity should be here, and that should be decided by the teacher or the curriculum framers depending upon the importance of the subject and the nature of the students. It varies in its nature, because the subject that we teach in the curriculum, that the nature of the subject also differs, because few subjects need various experiments and few subjects needs observation, few subjects need certain kind of play activity, but in few subjects and a specific kind of subjects where the nature of the subject is purely theoretical, so what kind of activity is suitable here, that is to be decided, and that was decided with the help of the nature of the subject. And the nature of the learner also differs, because there is individual differences in the classroom. We all know that what kind of activity is suitable for the learner concerned, what kind of this activity is concerned with the subject, nature of the subject. So, that decided by the curriculum planner that what kind of activity is likely to be delivered in the classroom and what kind of this nature of the individual, what kind of activity is suitable for the child concerned or the learner concerned. So, the nature of the subject and the nature of the child, these two components were considered while framing the activity centered curriculum. Patterns of curriculum include child student centered curriculum, subject centered curriculum, activity centered curriculum, life centered curriculum, experience centered curriculum and environmental centered curriculum. Out of these different types, the following that have been explained. Patterns of curriculum include, that is the different kind of pattern that we have mentioned here: student centered curriculum, subject centered curriculum, activity centered curriculum, life centered curriculum, experience centered curriculum, environmental centered curriculum. Out of these different types, the following there have been explained. Activity is used as a media or means for imparting knowledge and skill. So, as I told you that the name indicates activity centered. So, for the providing any information to the learner, the media or any kind of means that involved the activity was considered suitable for that particular curriculum, and knowledge was imparted through activity, and ultimately there was certain kind of skills that students learn passing through these or activity centered curriculum. It is a play way of learning things, not a kind of subjective way. not a kind of learning, not a kind of subjective way that the teacher is transacting the content, student is receiving the knowledge. No, this was not the way of this activity centered curriculum. What was the way? The way was that play way of learning things, that whatever the objects are available with the learner suitable to the particular subject, and as per the nature of the topic, he starts playing with these all objects, and whatever the learning is there, he receives directly, and certain kind of skills may be developed in learner after passing through these all activities. Activity is the greatest motivation, because the learner is not ready to learn by the verbal mode of transaction of curriculum, because every time the subject based curriculum or the kind of instructions that make the learner bored. So the what I will have to do today, this is a question that comes in the brain of a child, and he starts doing the things or playing or interacting with the objects available with him, and this is the great motivation for a learner, that how I will start my learning today. Provided to the child enjoys the freedom of expressing himself fully. So, because when there is a classroom setting and there is a kind of play and there kind of objects, so the students do not have a kind of a burden of the subjects, that what I have to learn by heart. No, nothing. So, what he has to do? He has to enjoy interacting with the objects available with him, and what kind of experiences he will receive, that is ultimately the motivation to learn something more. So, in this activity kind of curriculum that were provided to the learner, it has space, it has freedom for the learner to enjoy interacting with the objects. So, this kind of activity centered curriculum create a kind of interest, create a kind of motivation, create a kind of new way of learning. So, these all makes the learner pleasurable, enjoyable, instead of a kind of memorization of concepts is quite difficult, as in the case of subject centered curriculum. So, its core premises include the requirement that learning should be based on doing some hands-on experiments and activities. So, when we have some certain kind of hands-on activities, hands-on experiments, so the students is free to express their views and to do the things as per the need of the subject and as per the need of the experimental setup. So, these kind of learnings is really a kind of enjoyable, as a kind of pleasurable, and it gives certain kind of interactive experiences where observation is very essential, and it makes the students ready to learn something new. Children are active learners rather than passive recipients of information. So, no doubt when the students are doing himself, then it is a kind of active learning. But in the case of subject centered curriculum, the student was sitting and the teacher was delivering the oral mode of knowledge. So, no doubt this kind of learning, where we providing lot of activities to our students, that gives a conducive environment in the classroom, and also the students are active. The sense organs are active. What he observes through eyes, what he does through this kind of interacting with the objects, and what does he observe. These all are the fundamental questions that creates a lot of curiosity in the learner, and that makes and that gives a kind of motivation, a kind of inspiration to the students to move forward. Thus, we can conclude as in activity centered curriculum, subject matter is translated in terms of activities and knowledge is gained as an outgrowth and product of those activities. Activity is used as the medium for imparting knowledge, attitudes as well as skills. Because in activity centered curriculum, the subject matter is translated in terms of activities. So, what happened that after passing through activity, the learner observed certain kind of few peculiar findings, and he is very active to know what will happen now when I am doing this experiment, what when we are mixing one chemical to the another. So, what will happen? So, the last product that he receives after experimentation or after activity, that comes under the head of knowledge received today. So, the last findings of any activity gives a kind of knowledge that is in the form of product of that particular activity. Activity used as the medium for imparting knowledge, developing attitude as well as developing skills. So, knowledge, what kind of knowledge? That is the output or the outcome of that particular activity, that is knowledge. The things that passing through all the steps he reaches at a last, that develops a particular kind of attitude, doing work, having a positive attitude towards the situation. So, this kind of scientific attitude, this kind of scientific positivism develops in the students, and because he is doing with the help of the hands, he is using sense organs like eyes, like observation by smell, hearing, doing. So, what is this? These all develops skills among the students of doing work. So, when sense organs are involved and student is involved wholeheartedly, ultimately there is development of skills. So, proper knowledge receiving, proper developing attitude, developing skills, these three is possible after passing through the activities in such a systematic way. So, what is knowledge in case of activity centered curriculum? The knowledge is outproduct of that particular activity that he receives after passing through the activity. So, this the result of the activity is the knowledge, that is the knowledge that he received in the form of passing through activity. And what is attitude? The processes that is taking place performing this activity, these develops a certain kind of positivism or a kind of systematic way of doing work. What will happen after doing this? What will happen after doing this? So, this is a systematization and organization of that particular activity that gives certain kind of proper in developing proper attitude among the learners, because the sense organs are involved here. So, ultimately the skills development also here. So, these three fundamental domains, that we have cognitive domain, that we have psychomotor domain, that we have affective domain, these three domains are fully developed when we are passing through these activity centered curriculum. So, I revise again and I refresh your memory again that cognitive domain, that is in the form of product or the result of that particular activity, that is knowledge. Attitude, that is developing a kind of interest, a kind of systematic way of doing work, a good feeling, good observation, that also come under the head of affective domain. And the skill, that is the form of psychomotor skills, that may be in the form of drawing skills, that may be in the form of mathematical skills, and that may be in the form of problem solving skills. So, the hand skills, performing the experiment, making a activity or setting the activity in a proper way, these all helps the learner to makes the hand skills more stronger. So these three components are very important in case of activity centered curriculum. So now we have a look, let us see what about the historical background of activity centered curriculum. Mahatma Gandhi and Zakir Hussain in India developed an indigenous curriculum supported by the community. According to their concept of education, the curriculum should center around some form of manual and productive work. Handicraft activities should be related to the environment and occupation of people in the community. That is during this kind of struggle, then we don't have any particular plan for education system, and you must heard that is basic education given by Mahatma Gandhi, and in this education that was before independence. Mahatma Gandhi, our father of nation, started a scheme that was based on this basic elementary education, and that was based on craft education. So what was the fundamental principles and specific feature of this education? That the learning and earning all together, learning and earning all together, because the Indians were poor and they were not allowed to keep study on good schools. So keeping in view the this condition, the poor condition of Indians, Gandhiji told that whatever the things are available with you, you may prepare certain kind of objects with the help of paper, with the help of waste material, and this handicraft you sell it and you give it to the market, you will get the money. So this is earning. So learning and earning, these was given by the Mahatma Gandhi, our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and this basic education was very helpful to get the money from the rich and the elite pupil, and this money they have invested on this kind of education, and just to for bread and butter also, because the condition was so poor that they couldn't able to get the good or quality education in the schools. So due to lack of money, they were suggested by the Mahatma Gandhi, and it was proposed by the father of nation Mahatma Gandhi that education should be based on craft. So this is the curriculum. Zakir Hussain in India developed an indigenous curriculum supported by the community. Indigenous curriculum means that the all kind of languages, all kind of culture were included in the curriculum, and this indigenous curriculum was as per the need of the community. So it should be supported by the community, because they have to adjust in the community, and what is the need of the community, that is very essential to see. So both the freedom fighter joining hands to give this kind of plan of education. According to their concept of education, the curriculum should centered around some form of manual and productive work. That also indicates the activity centered curriculum, that they should do something through the hands, and there should be certain kind of output in the form of productive work and handicraft activities that should be related to the environment, that is social environment and occupation of people in the community. So this social environment that should also support the learners, and whatever they are having education, or whatever they want to do something in the community, whatever they are doing with the preparing the handicrafts, that all kind of objects could be giving to the community just to earn the money. So Gandhiji's and Zakir Hussain, these two proposed this indigenous curriculum. Gandhi's basic education was a self-supporting system of elementary education in which teaching of essential knowledge was combined with income earning activities. As I told you, that father of nation Mahatma Gandhi proposed a scheme of education that was based on handicraft, that was based on basic education, and it was supported by a kind of essential knowledge that combined with income earning activities. So, the knowledge that they have to receive, it was connected with the certain kind of productive work that will helpful, and that was helpful for the learners to receive or to gain certain kind of income and money that was very essential for their bread and butter. So, Gandhiji's basic education helped the Indians before independence to get the education in that way. This education was also activity centered education. The focus in curriculum was on integration of physical environment, social environment and craft work, because the craft work or the productive work that they had to produce, that was connected with the physical environment, what is needed in the physical environment, what is needed in social environment and what is needed in the coming days. So, these all were the need of the society. So, keeping in view the societal need, it was suggested that the student should prepare the handicraft objects that can be given to the society just to earn the money. Recent development in the area of curriculum suggested activity based curriculum at school level. Nowadays, we are also saying that the students' burden is too much and this is the curriculum load on the shoulder of the children, that is very much, and it should be reduced by activity centered curriculum and the experiential learning that we proposed for the school level. We say that the student should be giving much more experiences through the activities rather than through the rote memory. So, in that way we can reduce the this load of the subject centered curriculum. So, you just imagine that before independence, our leaders, our national leaders was visionary, that they know that this kind of education is more fruitful for our Indian children in comparison to this kind of oral mode of transaction of curriculum. So, you can imagine that what was the vision and was the mission of our national freedom fighter for the education system of India. The World Conference on Education for All held at Jomtien, Thailand. It is a place in Thailand, 1990. And International Commission on Education for 21st Century have also suggested that school education should develop such skills among pupils which lay the foundation for lifelong learning. Whatever you are formulating, preparing today, like this product through the activity, that will help you lifelong. Lifelong you can utilize this skill and just to carry on your life with the help of as to improve the economic condition. So, this kind of skills that the students learn through the curriculum, activity centered curriculum, that skills remains in the mind and that can be utilized whole life. In future, he can utilize these skills for preparing other kind of objects and he can be able to earn money or to raise the socio-economic status. The activities included in curriculum should meet the basic learning needs of children and should provide such essential tools of learning as knowledge, skills, value and attitude which can make them self-reliant. So, just to make the child self-sufficient, it is very essential that he can do work himself. We also say do yourself, do yourself. Why we are saying this? Because we want to see that you must be self-sufficient, self-reliant, don't dependent on others. So, when the student is doing the work with the help of hands and observing, preparing, trying, and ultimately there is a kind of a object that is a final product. So, when the learner passes through all the steps of this and reaches at the end and gets something new in hands, that makes and develops confidence, and that makes the students independent also. So, these are the life skills that is essential for a child at school level. So, this activity centered curriculum that enhances the activities in the education program makes the child more reliant, more sufficient and a kind of independent person of the society. The curriculum should be defined in terms of concrete everyday activities of people. So, whatever the students are doing in the school, that should be as per the nature of the subject, that should be as per the nature of the child. It should fulfill the needs of the society, it should be shaped according to physical environment of the society, and should also be given a certain kind of values, that is confidence, self-sufficient and independent of the child also. So, it is really a wonderful curriculum that makes a learner good enough for the 21st century. History of activity curriculum in India. The title activity curriculum, however, did not come into general use before 1920. 1944, a British man, David Horsburgh, started his school Neil Bagh in India. Neil Bagh was based on an innovative idea of Horsburgh. It was known for its creative methods in teaching and well-planned learning material. So, no doubt, the activity-centered curriculum is also based on creativity. The activity center is also based on innovative ideas, and activity centered is also based on a certain kind of new ideas of the teacher, that makes a lot of new plans for the activity centered curriculum. So, another qualities that activity centered helps to develop among our learner, what are these? Creativity and innovative ideas. And the British man David Horsburgh was the first who developed Neil Bagh in India, and Neil Bagh was based on an innovative idea of the person concerned, Horsburgh. So, what are the ideas that come in the mind of the teacher, that come in the mind of the students, that jointly may also develop a kind of activity that helps to develop new knowledge and new kind of creative knowledge. So, this idea of activity centered curriculum, that was quite old, but nowadays we have modified it in the form of experiential learning, and our father of nation Mahatma Gandhi also proposed that this scheme of education that gives much more importance to the activity is more beneficial and more fruitful for our Indian students. A diverse curriculum which included music, carpentry, sewing, masonry, gardening, as well as the usual school subjects English, mathematics, Sanskrit and Telugu. So, the Horsburgh idea was that including these all subjects English, mathematics, Sanskrit, Telugu, that is language, including these all subjects, it is very essential that other kind of hand skill experiments should also be added in this curriculum. What were these? Music, carpentry, that is wooden work, sewing, stitching, and masonry, that is the kind of joining the tap water, another kind of that related to the mason work, that is flow of water, how the pipe is likely to be fit here and how it is possible that the water will flow from this direction to this direction, such kind of thing, that we get the water in tap, in what way we receive these all, and in what way we enjoy this at a when we open the tap and just we find this all. So, this comes under the head of masonry work. So, these is also a hand skills, gardening, that is by the gardener. So, as well as the usual school subjects, along with the usual school subject, he added this music, carpentry, woodwork, sewing, that is related to stitching, and masonry, that is related to tap and other kind of water flow, and other kind of this all arrangement in the home, how we can get the water from the tap, how can we get the water in the washroom, how can we get the water in the when the level of the tap is high, when the level of the tap is low. So, these kind of masonry work. Gardening means that growing the plants, growing the fruits and other kind of things that makes our surroundings beautiful. So, this was the diverse kind of curriculum. This initiative of Horsburgh was later proved to be one of the pioneer and milestones in activity based curriculum. So, Horsburgh ideas were welcomed by the curriculum planner, and he was wonderful and a kind of creative person who gave and can be considered as a pioneer in the field of education. And activity based curriculum is also a kind of curriculum that makes our students more confident, and Horsburgh was the first who can be considered as a pioneer and milestones in activity based curriculum.